Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Vinland Saga episode 20. So last episode we had Thorkel and Askeladd, and then Thorfinn kind of by default are now following Canute on his journey up to Gainsborough, where he will confront and potentially try and kill King Sway and his own father. I'm really interested where that will go from there, and also will we at any point here will Thorkel learn about Askeladd being the one to kill Thors? That'll be really interesting as well. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. Over there you can find 1 week early access, so you can get episode 21 and 22 right now. You can also find polls so you can vote for what's next, and a full-length timer-based version of this where you just sync up your own footage and you can watch along with me. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Oh, is this Gainsborough here? Okay, so Thorkel is showing up. Yeah, completely unexpected. Now they're kind of showing up all friendly. Thorkel's got a proper eye patch now as well.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, lay your weapons down. I don't lie to him as well. Is he going to challenge the king right away? But the king might be impressed with this, you know? I actually went back and rewatched my opening reactions from like over a year ago when I did it. And it's sometimes crazy when you see the kind of improvement, how shy I was during that. And yeah, I was really like soft-spoken. Almost like Canute. Hopefully I'm not as violent as Canute. But also sometimes it's a little bit cringy watching your old videos. I'm thinking, oh, were they really that bad? Okay, he's gonna gather his allies. They still have it. He still has respect, yeah. Yeah, he loves that. Yeah, Askeladd's got that good judge of character. Yeah, exactly. So he needs to set someone up. Maybe set up Floki. Yeah, if Canute has Askeladd, then Askeladd can manipulate Thorfinn on his behalf. Oh, okay. Turn this into the Vinland. For creating this like loving place. Okay, nice, yeah, create paradise here. It's just do the ends justify the means. I am very happy, yeah. The tone in his voice. Yeah, this is an assassination attempt. I was thinking that. Are they just gonna fight here then? Yeah, a bit of a standoff. Although if Canute says, you know, withdraw your men, that could impress Swayan.
顔を見ればそこでよい。
This is the first time we're fully seeing it. Covered in warts.
ラグナルはどうした？姿が見えぬが。
死にました。
I love this red light coming in as it through some stained glass.
10歩前へ進め。
It's so tense knowing that there's all of these people here like ready to assassinate him.
ほんのわずかの間に顔が変わったな。
Yeah, everyone's noticing.
されば我が心の内もお分かりでございましょう。
See the difference in their eyes. Canute has that glimmer and the king doesn't.
こんだけの護衛に囲まれて何言ってやがる。
黙れ、聞こえるぞ。
Thorfinn doesn't care.
敵の巣の中にいるってことを忘れなさんなよ。
Thorfinn just loves a snarky little comment.
意志があるのだ。この王冠には。
Yeah, Canute has some, grand prospects of his own, but who knows if he'll actually be able to achieve it. Will he just fall in line like every other king and fail to make change?
王冠が陛下に命じたというのですか。私を殺せと。
Revealing that he knows.
力を使うことと力を増やすことだ。あらもうても無駄なことよ。
So Swain has always given in to the crown. See, he's got these wrinkles under his eyes now and he's been frowning much more expressive. He isn't just this like baby face like he's always been.
そなたにコーンウォールの一部をやろう。そこで聖書でも読みながら平穏の日々を送るがよい。
Only over Cornwall.
陛下、恐れながら発言をお許しください。
Okay, I trust Escalade though.
新たな領地の割譲において各将軍に動揺を与えます。口の回る男だ。
Definitely.
目かけの子か。いや、奴隷に産ませた子かの。
Oh, he doesn't like that, but will he have to go along with it? Oh, look at this effect on him, okay.
なんだ。アシュラットがここまで起こる。
Yeah, yeah.
世は明日ヨークに立つ。かの地にて宴席を設ける。
I wonder how Canute will react to this after. If he will think Escalade or be mad at him. But I feel like Swain must know that an assassination attempt is imminent as well.
何のことはない。スヴェン王は王冠の奴隷というわけだ。
Yeah, yeah.
王冠の力、私が使いこなしてみせようぞ。
That's really cool. Canute's gonna master the crown.
少々警戒せねばならんな。
You know, does Swayan know Escalade from the order that Floki, he gave Floki and then Floki passed it on to Escalade? I wonder.
57杯目だ。
Okay.
私はビリバルドです。お忘れですか。
He's so young.
赤いな、いくつだよ。
23です。
嘘だろ。20代前半。
Yeah, with his beard. I thought he was really old.
やれそうか。あの王。
I don't think it'll be Escalade to be the one who will do it.
戦上手とも申せましょう。さすがは一国の王といったところでしょうか。
Yeah, you don't get to that position for nothing. Or be able to continue to hold it for nothing.
まあ、当分は王陛下の隙を伺いつつ、標準の。
I don't like this like tarp behind them. It feels like someone could just be standing behind that listening.
無事のご帰還、お喜び申し上げます。この軍なる、どれほどに心配した。
Oh yeah, Ragnar's brother.
ノルマンディー公国です。その件について、兄も交えて後ほど。
He isn't away yet.
私のためにすまぬことをしたな。それから亡命はせぬ。
殿下。
そなたが
Yeah, plans have changed completely.
軍なる。そなたの仕事は王の監視と報告だ。
Okay, be the inside man.
殿下お変わりになられ
Completely different. Poor thing just needs to let loose once in a while, you know? Join in the festivities.
右腕痛くないのかね
アシュラット。
え
Oh, they came along.
ビョルンの傷治るといいな。
あとりおめえそれでもバイキングかよ
Yeah, yeah, what is Bjorn up to actually?
もう昔からの手下はトルフィンだけってことになるな
Yeah, completely disbanded.
ロギンが多くて困ることはねえだろうが
Yeah, even after abandoning him.
二度と剣を握るな
Ah,
いやねあとり
live your life to the fullest, yeah.
嫁をもらってガキをこさえてベッドで死ね
Just have a comfortable life.
それ何これかこれは大切な腕だ
Does the other brother just have like brain damage now? Obviously, there was no like physical hit either to cause that, though, was there? Just the fear of Borkel. Okay, Leaf is here again. They teased him a bit before, we still haven't caught up with him. And we're still not gonna, okay. Hopefully the next few episodes, maybe they'll focus on Leaf, that'll be nice. Okay, so that was episode 20 of Vinland Saga. I really love this kind of political aspect now. The kind of mind games between Canute and Swain. Swain, you know, wants to take out Canute but can't quite yet, and Canute wants to take out Swain but can't quite yet. He needs to get the heat off him a bit. He needs to formulate a good plan to do this. He's kind of entrusting Askeladd to formulate that plan, and I do really wonder what the plan will be. Obviously they kind of want to frame it on someone else, so Canute seems innocent in all of this and then can take up the throne after. I feel like framing it on Floki might be a good idea, but then they would need to come up with an explanation, a motive for Floki to do it, and I'm not quite sure if there is actually a motive for Floki yet. But maybe if we get to learn a bit more about Floki in these next few episodes, we'll come to like a motivation for him. Or, you know, you could probably frame Gunnar for it and say Gunnar found out about Swayan's plan to get Canute killed, and as a consequence of that, Ragnar got killed and he wanted revenge for his brother. That could be a cool way to do it. You know, Gunnar was quite funny, him showing up there very enthusiastic, and of course didn't know about Ragnar yet, but he yet also doesn't know what the cause of death for Ragnar was. You know, Canute just said he died in battle. He didn't say, yeah, it's this guy next to me who he's the one who killed him and now he's replaced him and I really trust him, you know. But Askeladd has been vital here as well. You know, he's so good at reading people. He's just trying to get a read on the king, and we finally get to see the king's face. You know, no like big surprises there. We've already seen he's all like covered in warts on his hands, and so is his face, and he's all old and wrinkly. He did have like a bit of like a scar or a burn or something, or even a birthmark on his face, I noticed as well. Maybe if that was from battle, I don't know if there's like a backstory behind that. That might be interesting. But yeah, Canute is really entrusting Askeladd here, and I think, you know, as an audience, we know you can trust Askeladd, but Canute fully seems to trust him as well, which is great to see. And like Canute and Askeladd said earlier, you know, you bring Askeladd along, and then that kind of forces Thorfinn to come along, because Askeladd can just blackmail Thorfinn into doing whatever he likes, because he'll just say, well, I'll give you the chance to duel me again, you know. And I do wonder if we will get a duel soon. Maybe like next 2 episodes we wrap up everything happening with Canute, and then maybe the final episode of the season, or the one before the final episode, might be a duel again. And that feels like that might be like the big duel that wraps up this kind of arc, this portion of the story, because I do know in season 2 there is a bit of a time skip. I'm not sure how long, but I do know that there is a time skip. I've seen that like main picture of Thorfinn from, I don't know if it's from the first episode, but where he looks a lot older. He's got like some stubble. It looks like it's been like maybe 5 years-ish, you know. And then we're finally seeing Leif Erikson again. So it'll be really interesting when he catches up with Thorfinn. I don't think he would even recognize Thorfinn at first, right? Maybe Thorfinn will recognize him as Leif, or, you know, maybe they'll be on like opposing sides or something or other, and then it comes to light and you're like, what, wait, you're Leif Erikson? Or like, wait, you're Thorfinn, son of Thors? And then hearing about what's happening with everyone else, that'll be really interesting as well. What is Ylva up to? Is Helga even still alive? You know, it's been how many years without her husband? You know, there's some people, they just can't cope with the grief. Who knows what has happened since then? Who is now like the leader of the little town that they were in? I feel like Ylva could have stepped up to that role, you know. She was definitely, I feel like she was fit and like mentally strong enough to do that, even at like that younger age that she was when we first saw her. So that'll be really interesting when Leif shows up, if we find out any more of that, you know. And I do wonder how he will react, because last time he saw Thorfinn, he was this innocent young boy, and now he is this man or like teenager who is just so driven by hatred, you know. It's very interesting to see more of Canute's ideology here and how that almost opposes King Sweyn as well. Canute, he wants to create this paradise. He wants England to become this paradise. But then Sweyn, the king, was saying, you know, you have these lofty ambitions, but the crown has its own will, and there are certain sacrifices you need to make when you are a king. You know, you need to consider what's best for your people. Canute wants it to be a paradise, but in making a paradise, what do you have to do? Do the ends justify the means? And once it becomes a paradise, it's almost like this paradox of it becomes a paradise, but then how do you keep it a paradise? Because once you do, it almost, there's that saying where it's like the good times make weak men, and I don't necessarily agree with that, but like if you create this paradise, then it could be more up for invasion by another country once they see how like bountiful it is, you know. So you need to create a paradise, but also really protect the paradise too, so it doesn't get taken advantage of. And these are all things that come with like the weight of the crown. But I really liked Canute's kind of rebuttal to that, saying that Sweyn is a slave to the crown and Canute will command the crown, will command that power. You know, he's made this complete switch, and I'm really loving what he's up to at the moment. Just this switch in his personality, and I just love, you know, the politics and the backstabbing, all of that aspect of it as well is really interesting to see. And then we had right at the end there, Askeladd, and then the men that betrayed him. I like how Askeladd didn't hold a grudge at all. You know, he even offered this bracelet, which is obviously worth quite a bit of money, and said, battling isn't for you. You should go live a happy life like a true warrior like Thors, you know. Go meet a girl, have kids, just live a peaceful life, you know. This life of a Viking isn't for you, which I kind of agree, you know. That's a much better life than the life they were living anyway. And now, because the brother's like, I don't know, he has something now, some sort of mental illness. He seems much more childlike, which, you know, I was thinking, oh, is there some sort of brain damage? But then I'm like, did he even, you know, get a head injury or anything? I don't think so. It was almost just like the shock of the fear of Thorkel that caused all of that to happen to him, you know. I mean, there is a bit of comic relief in that as well, but yeah. So it's interesting that Askeladd doesn't hold a grudge at all, and I think Askeladd knew even from back then when they started to portray him, he kind of knew that that was coming anyway and had accounted for that and planned for that, you know. So it didn't really matter where in his men that came from. It could have come from anyone, but he knew it was happening. He's gonna come anyway, you know. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all of the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.